The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, check out manscaped.com. Use the promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. That's manscaped.com.
Welcome to the No New Friends podcast, the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Join Scott, Mary, Chris, and Sarah as they discuss adulting topics that may not be suitable for little ears. Unless you are a small adult like Chris. And then it's fine.
I just remember Friday night, hey, Dad, Mom, Dad, can I have so-and-so over for a sleepover? Yeah, sounds good. Let's go to Blockbuster and get some videos. And
yeah.
It was always just one video because we're not going to have time to watch all of them. But they would do the weekend special where you could have it for 2 days if you got 3 videos. And
look, I'm getting all excited.
I know.
Yeah.
You need to change it.
And then you put in your Totino's party pizzas. Oh,
yes. You had your popcorn and
weekend.
You were thirsty as hell because there's no
man.
water fountain in there. You just have all the salt around your lips. And then you end up wandering into the back room with the special door, and then someone yells at you, "You're not supposed to be in here, kid."
You had a very different experience at Blockbuster than I did.
Yeah, I didn't.
me.
I don't think my Blockbuster had a back room.
It's like then it turned out to be my uncle, and then all these years of therapy later, I still remember it.
I didn't know what the back room was, and I just wandered in there one day. I was a kid. I was like 4th, 5th grade. And, of course, 4th, 5th grade, I kind of understand a little bit about what's going on. I had already seen Lethal Weapon 2. And, and there's boobs everywhere. Boobs everywhere as far as the eye could see. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then some guy, I don't think you're supposed to be in here. I myself that day.
That was in Blockbuster?
Quickly zipped your pants up and ran out.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I was younger, Scott, I had the internet, so I didn't really need that back room.
Yeah, that's where the back room went.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, Chris, and Sarah.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, our links are right there on our website. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our sweet merchandise and join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits, and you can watch us record these things live. We'd love to get your emails, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com. And if you'd like to call us, and we do have a voicemail today, you can give us a call, 407-906-0543. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, my co-host, I'm an architect of her pain, the queen of annoying me, Mary.
Wow. Mary, you could have said a million things. The queen of witty comebacks, the queen of higher education. Instead,
well, you're complaining about having to wake up early, and that annoys me, so... Everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our producer, Alex.
Hola.
And the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
aw.
Shrek.
No, it's not.
No.
It's babe.
Wait. No, he says that.
Babe.
That'll do, donkey.
That's
That'll
donkey.
do.
Wrong one-syllable title for a movie. You said that so confidently, too. It was very cute.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And as soon as I said it, I was like, no, that's babe. Damn it.
So the reason why I said that is because okay, so before the episode, I started talking about how I gained all this weight, and now the fat jokes.
You have put on some weight, fatty.
And now the fat jokes have
Pot.
have commenced in the chat, and Game Master Ryan, who's not Game Master Ryan, who is Ryan, Chemist Ryan, said Scott to Chris when the podcast ends, quote, "That'll do, pig. That'll do." And I just lost it. I had to mute my microphone. Oh, you know what's funny is before we get into what we're probably supposed to be talking about this first segment is it's funny because like you just said a fat joke, Scott, and Mary and Sarah instantly got offended that you called me fat. But like,
right.
It's so funny how guys like everyone's saying all these fat jokes, and I'm like, oh man, these guys love me. Like it's just like a sign of love and affection.
I know it is. It is.
And imagine if a girl called another girl like even slightly overweight.
Immediately they'd be sticking their finger down their throat.
I don't know if I'd go. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far. Did you know that like plus size stores in Asia, like they're like savage? The names of them, I saw it on a TikTok, so it has
I
to be
just saw
true.
that today.
Do you know what I'm? Yes, it one's called like Fatty McFat Girl, and like just like terrible names.
What?
One's just called Piggy. Like it's just so bad. They're
Wait.
so
Who is putting these out?
Asia, just the whole continent.
The whole
I don't know.
continent.
It just
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know
listen, they have a
specifics.
very, very skinny culture. They have to fat shame. Like, if someone puts on too much weight, they're like, you're a bad representation of our
Well, there's
of
not
our
enough
culture.
room on public transportation if they're too large. They gotta stuff in those trains. I found that to be hilarious. It reminded me off of Mean Girls, where she couldn't fit into her dress. And she's like, "Is butter a carb?"
and I love
Is butter a carb?
No. I don't read the nutrition facts, and nothing. He
doesn't believe in
No, it's no calories if you don't read it. Like alcohol.
Oh.
Alcohol has no calories in it. Beer has no calories.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Prove to me that beer has calories in it. I don't see anything on the bottle or the box.
I don't know. Well, Mick Ultra, like I saw at the golf tournament everywhere, has like 98
I
calories
stay
or
away.
99.
I stay away from those. I do everything at 0 or less.
the COVID cases stop rising if you stop testing.
But sure, they do.
Show me how that's not true. Seriously.
It is true.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant proclamation.
But if you drink enough,
So-
you throw everything up. It's negative calories.
Wow.
Exactly.
And you get an ab workout. You're onto something.
I know. I am. I'm a bit of a medical expert myself, Mary.
Yeah, and then your teeth dissolve and you can't eat anymore anyways.
Yeah.
By the way,
This is really very bright.
coming soon, we have a new merch line. It's a new get in shape video. Chris is going to be the first subscriber, but it's pretty much just Mary throwing up for 2 hours.
Yeah, I look
she's
like a
gonna
cat
take us
coughing
through
up
that
a fur
process.
ball. I'm just like hunched over, like.
I'm taking notes. Like Mary's talking about all these like really sad stories, and everyone's like, "Oh man, that's so sad." I'm taking notes. Like I'm okay. So I need to develop this disease. I develop this condition.
Yeah.
I need to.
True.
Yeah, I need to do this. I need to do that.
Just visit a food truck.
You don't think I've tried?
It sounded like it was a swift exit from all points.
You don't think I've tried? I went to a food truck festival. I'm planning on going to a food truck festival. It rained, and then I go to the food truck festival, and I get all the fried foods I can. I kept it down like a champ. So I'm gonna try again
That's
next week.
sad. Did
So-
you try visiting south of the border?
No, but that's
Oh
not
God!
a bad idea.
Oh, that's a story. That is a story. So
Scott tried to kill our entire trip.
so Chris, every once in a while we talk about this general manager retreat that we all went on when we worked at Smoky Bones.
Uh-huh.
And it was like what, 9 of us, something like that. But our region was North Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. So the Florida GMs, we all took a sniper van to North Carolina. Well, we stopped in south of the border on the way there and took pictures because it's a fun little place to take pictures at. And then on the way back, I'm like, well, there's this restaurant. There's a big sombrero. Why don't we just eat there?
That's how you judge your eateries. Like, oh wow, that place has a sombrero. That place has got to be good.
Well, first of all, in South Carolina, they have to put their food service, their health inspection grade on like displayed, and they had an A. So I was like, it's got to be
It was
fine.
actually an F, but somebody just drew like a line on the side, like just to make it look like, oh God, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I just got a salad because for some reason I was on a weight loss kick. And I was the only one who didn't get sick, Chris. Like everybody, and we still have to drive from South Carolina to Orlando.
And the sad thing is that everyone else couldn't drive because they were not feeling well. You couldn't drive because you were probably very drunk.
Correct. I do believe you ordered a margarita. I think Scott and I were the only ones that ordered margaritas at lunch.
Did I order? I don't remember.
Yeah, we
I don't
both
remember.
did.
What state is this in?
This is
South
it's
Carolina.
South Carolina. It's right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina.
So Scott's going through North Carolina and sees a sombrero. Like, oh, these guys are known for their Mexican. Let's stop here.
It was so bad.
the whole place, Chris. It's this huge tourist trap. They've got like an
It
amusement
looks
park and
deserted.
museums.
No,
It
there's
does.
none of that is there anymore. It's all
It does look
deserted.
deserted, but at night it kind of looks like Vegas but Mexican, and it's like the whole thing. Like Pedro is Pedro's their mascot, and there's billboards. As soon as you hit like South Carolina from Georgia. There's
nothing.
billboards as far as the eye can see. Just Pedro says.
Nothing but salmonella and cultural appropriation.
I don't know if this is true or not. I don't want to make any comments because this is actually live and we can't edit this out. So I don't know whether to laugh or to is the mascot's name really Pedro? Are they using a man for a mascot? This is real? Like this is Pedro is
Yes.
Well, it's not a real human. It's like a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon. It's Pedro, and it says Pedro says.
okay. So this isn't like a
And
slavery.
even
thing.
as you no,
okay,
no.
It's
He's
a
free
fictional.
man.
It's a fictional person. It's not a real.
Yeah, he's a free man. He's got 8 jobs, but he is free.
Oh my God. One of them's at your house, Scott.
But as soon as you pass through south of the border, it says Pedro says you've gone too far. Turn around. And then there's a place where you can stand on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. But it's this really cute place that will give you food poisoning.
Oh, wow.
I
So
think that
cute.
is a stretch.
Sarah, have you been to south of the border?
I've
I don't-
driven past it, but I thought it was deserted.
You never stopped? Oh, you have
You
to
thought
stop
right.
there.
But I've seen all the billboards.
We thought right. Keep going.
You have to stop there.
No, you don't. Why do you want to hurt other people, Scott? That's what I need to understand. Well, I don't.
Well, out of all of
Why?
us, we know that Sarah's got the strongest stomach for
clearly.
undercooked food.
Well, I guess if you need to train your stomach for any type of food truck shenanigans, then that's the place to go. Oof.
Are you, Sarah? You are going to be going to the food truck rally in Sanford that I sent you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. Hashtag content.
Oh my God.
It's all I think about.
Oh, good. So, Chris, now that we've talked about vomiting and
Me being fat. Just to remind you, yes.
food poisoning, yes, but that's
Yes.
where I was going. How did you get fat?
Oh,
I mean, for me, it was just eating.
see, for me, okay. So here's the thing, right? So I started a year ago. Now I
And
started.
picture it, Cherry Hill, 2022.
So a year ago, probably this month or last month, the month before, I don't know. I started taking anxiety medicine, right? And before that, I was so anxious because like I would eat things, and when I would swallow them, I would have a fear they were getting stuck in my throat. Oh, it's just very rational things you think of, Scott, when you have anxiety.
Yeah.
Yes, very rational things.
Sure.
And like my throat would get all dry, and I just wouldn't instantly lose my appetite, right? So it's really good appetite suppressant. Anxiety is. So anyway, I get on this anxiety medicine, and suddenly I gained 30 pounds, right? So I go to my
Sarah calls that marijuana. Continue.
So I go to my psychiatrist and she's like, "Are you experiencing any side effects from this?" I was like, "Yeah, weight gain. Gained a lot of weight recently." I said, "Is that normal?" She's, "Oh no, that's not normal. That's not a side effect of the medicine."
She said, "You're a growing boy."
Yeah,
That's
she's
what
like,
you
"Maybe
need
it's
to do."
because you aren't anxious anymore." I was like, I think it gives me I think I'm eating more. I just think I'm eating more. And so anyway, so I go home and I just totally, usually what you people down there do is I just didn't listen to the health experts. I just made up my own rules and went home. And the next morning after I injected myself with Clorox, this was during COVID,
Yeah.
I
Did you put your butthole to the sun?
we'll talk about that on After
That's what you're
Dark.
supposed to
Yeah, we'll
do.
talk about that on
It
After
doesn't. It doesn't activate the Clorox.
I have plenty of activation, Mary. But anyway, so I go back to the psychiatrist after so many months, and she's like, "How's your appetite?" I was like, "It's better than ever. It's great. I've never had this much of appetite. Are you sure it's not the medicine?" So yeah, no, definitely not the medicine. But you should start working out. I was like, "Yeah, that's not happening.
Wow.
That's definitely not
Wow.
happening."
So, what kind of medication is this, if I may ask?
Oh,
Mary
I
wants
am
to
on-
compare her pill sorter to yours.
I am
Yeah.
on 50 milligrams of sertraline, which is the generic brand of Zoloft.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Fun fact: a side effect of Zoloft is lasting longer in bed.
Not for me. I get fat and I don't get the I get all the stuff that isn't even like studied. I get all the negatives from Zoloft, except the anxiety's gone. So I guess it's a positive. Listen,
Yeah, I feel like that's a positive.
yeah, I think it's just that I'm not afraid to eat anymore because I
That's
think I
why
had a
they
fear
say
of
fat
eating.
and happy together.
Yeah,
Fat and happy.
yeah, and you know what? I started this medicine after I got married. So everyone's just looking at me like, "Oh, he got married. Now he's getting all fat." So I'm just kind of playing into that role. Just kind of playing into the
Yeah, lean in, man. Lean in.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've never been happier.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah, exactly. Like look how happy I am.
Rachel's losing a ton of weight right now.
Right. How many years have you guys been married now, Scott?
Well, technically 4, but as Chris pointed out in After Dark, that's like 6 years in relationship. So I guess
Mhm.
24.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's true.
I see.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
one year of marriage equals 6 years of relationship, so 24 years.
I forgot how many years Mike Reedy and I were married. Legitimately.
I would
had to
I
go
would
back.
know
I was
had
like,
I been
what?
invited to the wedding.
I was going to say, Scott doesn't know either because he has no idea when you guys got married.
No idea.
Well, neither do I, so.
Well, it was 2016, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know that now. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Sarah, you've got kids.
So speaking of kids, I found something very interesting today, and this was the whole thing that I wanted to talk about. And we have a couple minutes, and I don't think it's going to be that long of a segment. So there's this website, and it's been dormant for years. Been dormant since the company filed bankruptcy back, 20 years ago. Real big company in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm talking about Blockbuster Video.
Toys R Us. No.
Blockbuster Video, their website. I should have done a guessing game, but ruined that. But their website has gone active, and it says like, "Please be kind while we rewind" or something like that. But it's very cryptic. It says, "We're working on rewinding your movie." That's it. Just a big blue screen with the Blockbuster logo.
Do you think it's going to be a streaming service?
I don't know.
I think
don't
Scott
know.
bought
Where
it.
is this?
But I like to go to the store.
Blockbuster.com.
I want to pick out $4
Blockbuster.com. Yeah.
candy.
I know. So there is one Blockbuster remaining. It's in Bend, Oregon. And Netflix did a whole documentary about it. That's like
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald doing a documentary on the death of John F. Kennedy.
It's because they
Chris
killed.
looks confused.
They killed it.
Oh, I thought you were
Blockbuster.
talking.
They killed Blockbuster.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the guy that assassinated Lincoln. I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now I get it.
He time traveled.
Yeah, I get it.
to kill him.
I thought you were talking about John Wilkes Booth doing a documentary on JFK.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
Lincoln turned into a vampire hunter.
Yeah. So, Mary, I'm with you. I want the brick and mortar Blockbuster. And
Yeah.
they're just going to have to figure out a way because, listen, Mary says
I
she
don't
wants
own
a
a
brick and mortar,
VCR
but Mary
anymore.
doesn't like to leave her house. I'm wondering how, is it going to be a delivery service?
No, sometimes I do. Oh, what if they had a bar there?
Oh, that's brilliant. You have a bar there, popcorn for the kids, some candy, or if it's like an Uber service where like someone delivers your movie to you. That would be
I want
good.
to go into the building. I want to go into the building.
I agree.
That's the whole experience.
I would go.
Right.
I would go. That feels nostalgic and comfortable to me. There's certain things that I'm okay with doing. Remember, like the grocery store, sometimes I'm okay with that. Remember when I used to go
You used
like
to go
every
every
day and
single
you'd get real
day.
mad?
Every single day. I would get real
See?
mad because it's like, okay, let's record at 10. That gives me enough time to edit and put
I'm
it
like,
out
sorry,
tonight.
I'm
You're
at
like,
the grocery
sorry, I'm at the
store.
grocery store. It'll be 11. There's like 2 episodes where you could tell that I'm grumpy. It's slightly overseasoned. Slightly overseasoned was one. I was like real annoyed.
But that
with
wasn't
you.
my fault. That was whenever Grayson jumped out of his window, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Anyway, so Chris, did you ever visit a Blockbuster or are you too young for Blockbuster Video?
No, I went to Blockbuster every single week with my parents when I was younger to pick out a movie. I loved Blockbuster.
I know
Remember the new releases? You hoped you could get there in time to
Yes.
get them
Yep,
before they
yep.
were all gone.
Oh yeah, and they'd have like 40 copies
memories.
of the, and you'd have to reach behind, and then some asshole put a different copy of a movie behind.
Yes. Jerks.
So
Oh my
rude.
God.
So rude.
And I was young, so I rented the video games there too. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Sarah, you had experience at Blockbuster, yes?
I did, many. I remember one specifically where you used to be able to get those buckets of popcorn that had like the bag at the bottom and then it would just pop into the bucket. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yeah.
And I would just grab that bucket and fill it with candy and get like 3 or 4 movies and just sit there all day and watch it.
Yeah, man. And then you had to like make sure you brought it back on time though.
There was one right around the corner from my grandparents' house where I spent a lot of time. So I could walk over there.
That
Just
was
switch
like the
them out.
ideal date night. Like if your boyfriend was like, I'm going to bring you some movies, baby girl. You want to watch a Walk to Remember? You know,
Walk to
like,
Remember,
I was like,
yes. A staple in every
Oh,
middle
yeah.
school basement
middle school.
for me.
Yeah, he's like 12.
I am. Sorry.
I just remember Friday night, hey, dad, mom, dad, can I have so-and-so over for a sleepover? yeah, sounds good. Let's go to Blockbuster and get some videos.
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
it was always just one video because we're not gonna have time to watch all of them. But they would do the weekend special where you could have it for
Oh,
2
yeah.
days if you got 3
Oh, yeah.
videos. And
Look, I'm getting all excited.
I
I'm
know,
like, yeah,
I know.
yeah.
You need to change
and then
it.
you'd put in
Underwear,
your
Jesus.
Totino's party pizzas. Oh,
Yes,
that's a
you had your
hell
popcorn,
of a
and
weekend.
you were thirsty as hell
Yeah,
because there's no
man.
water fountain in there. You just have all the salt around your lips, and then you end up wandering into the back room with the special door, and then someone yells at you, "You're not supposed to be in here, kid."
You had a very different experience at Blockbuster
Just
than I did.
Yeah, I
Just
didn't.
me.
I
Wow.
don't think my Blockbuster had a back room.
It's like then it turned out to be my uncle, and then all these years of therapy later, I still remember it.
So my video store before it became Blockbuster was called like American Movie Network. It was 16,000 movies. That was their big sign, 16,000 videos. And Blockbuster went in and bought all of the little mom and pops, like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you're in the South. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good there. Like everybody got Netflix from Blockbuster. Like they bought out all of the mom and pops. And so 16,000 movies had the back room. And I didn't know what the back room was. And I just wandered in there one day. I was a kid. I was like 4th, 5th grade. And, of course, 4th or 5th grade, like I kind of understand a little bit about what's going on. Like I had already seen Lethal Weapon 2. And, and there's boobs everywhere. Boobs everywhere as far as the eye could see. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then some guy, I don't think you're supposed to be in here. I myself that day.
That was in Blockbuster?
Quickly zipped your pants up and ran out.
Are you not paying attention? It was in 16,000 movies, which was bought by Blockbuster.
Yeah, so it was Blockbuster.
But it was before
Oh, it was
Blockbuster
before
bought it.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
So, but okay, you did not
I was gonna
clarify
say, I did
that.
not
'cause
have
here
one of
I
those.
am. I'm like, wow, Blockbuster was wild back in the day. Maybe
Well,
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we had to, we rode there. We got off of our dinosaur, then we walked in, and then went to the back room.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I was younger, Scott, I had the internet, so I didn't really need that back room.
Let me.
Yeah, that's where the back room went.
The funniest
Yeah.
thing is,
The internet now.
I remember when Netflix first came out, and I remember
So do
that.
I.
Yeah, it was like you would pick your movies, they'd mail it to you,
Mail
and
the
then you'd mail it
DVD,
back.
yeah.
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 I'm
Oh
like,
my
this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. This is never gonna work.
And then I was so excited when they were like, oh, there's select movies that you can stream from your TV. And I
Right.
was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is what kind of sorcery
I know.
is this?
I remember looking at my girlfriend at the time saying, yeah, this mailing things back and forth, this is never going to work. And then I
Except for a wife for you at some point,
Right.
maybe.
and then I tweeted it out on MySpace, and that tweet did not age well.
Was it right there with like the server at mom's kitchen is hot?
The word history comes from ancient Greece, first used by Aristotle. Historians seek knowledge of the past using historical sources. I use Google. This is The Hiz with Alex. Before we end segment 1, I thought it would be great to go over the history of Blockbuster. Blockbuster was created by Sandy and David Cook in Dallas, Texas. They started with the VideoWorks franchise store and then shortly left the franchise in order to customize their store in blue and yellow colors. The first Blockbuster opened in Dallas in 1985. David had previously worked in the oil and gas industry as a software supplier. David saw the potential in the Blockbuster store and began franchising it. Blockbuster had early success, and in 1987, Waste Management co-founder Wayne Huizinga acquired several Blockbuster stores and became a partner of the Cooks. Together, Huizinga and Cook quickly expanded the Blockbuster market. In the late 80s, Blockbuster purchased many rivals, growing rapidly across the U.S. In 1994, Viacom purchased Blockbuster for $8.4 billion. In 2000, Blockbuster turned down the offer to acquire Netflix for $50 million. At Blockbuster's peak, in 2004, they had more than 9,000 stores worldwide. In the late 2000s, Blockbuster purchased MovieLink for $6.6 million to move into the streaming business. By 2010, Blockbuster's store numbers dwindled to 6,500 and launched their Blockbuster Express video rental kiosks. But later that year, Blockbuster announced that they were not able to pay $42.4 million in interest to bondholders and filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in mid-September. In 2011, Dish purchased Blockbuster for $320 million and immediately announced that they planned to only keep 500 stores open. Later in 2011, Dish announced that they would launch a service called Blockbuster Movie Pass to compete with Netflix, which was scrapped in 2012. By 2014, only 300 stores remained in the US and the DVD by mail program was shut down. Later in 2014, the number of stores quickly dwindled down to 51. Today, a store in Bend, Oregon is the last remaining open Blockbuster. And in 2020, they started to list their store as a 90s-themed sleepover Airbnb.
You're listening to the New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Hey, it's your old buddy Parker coming to you live from the backward state of South Carolina. Welcome to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. You can check us out 24/7, 366. That's right, we work one extra day, even if it's not leap year, at blcpodcast.com, the only place other than Spotify and every other podcast app where you can listen to the Black Lincoln, and YouTube, where you can listen to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
6 out of 5 stars.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Don't forget to check out our second episode of the week. It comes out Wednesdays at about 9 o'clock p.m.-ish. It's NNF After Dark, where we've got different interviews that come on. And then, we're a little bit edgier than we already are. We make a lot of Jewish jokes. So Sarah's heavily featured in that episode.
We never do. We don't do them without Sarah. Keep that in mind. We don't do Jewish jokes without Sarah.
Correct. Because then that would be a hate crime.
Yes, we do have a Jewish friend.
Yes, we do.
Oh, God.
So we're not anti-Semitic.
Honorary Jews?
Yes.
We're honorary Jews.
Thank you.
You've been dubbed.
Oh my
dubbed honorary Jews. We have to get a t-shirt.
Oh my gosh. Yes, honorary Jew. Thank you. This is huge for me.
Thank you.
This is really big for me. So what percentage Jew does this make me?
1.
Perfect.
But that's all you need, you know?
I know. That's all I need.
That's true.
Wow.
Now I'm 3% Jewish because I already proclaimed myself 2% so that I could celebrate Hanukkah. Now I'm 3%.
Wow.
I need to find another Jewish friend to dub me an honorary Jew.
I'm so excited. 1930s Germany is rolling in their graves right now. I am very excited. Take that. Take that, my ancestors.
Oh, wow. So, Mary, you went to a wedding this weekend.
Yeah, speaking of...
to April or May or summer,
May,
spring?
Yeah, it's gonna be May. My sister Autumn. Yes, it was a lovely affair. Let me paint the scenery for you.
Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. So Lewis in chat was like, wow, that's a burn. I mean...
No.
He's ruthless at home,
Lewis.
That's fine. I do blonde jokes to my wife all the time, and sometimes they're really mean.
There's a little bit of a difference. I feel like not quite.
A little bit, yeah. Anti-Semitism and the color of your hair, a little different.
Huh. Who knew? Okay, go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so...
Emily does fat jokes. All right, go ahead, Mary. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so let me just paint the scene here for you. Wedding festivities for me started on Friday. If you don't remember, Scott, are you okay? I think he's having a stroke. Somebody help him.
the comments in chat right now. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, just join our Patreon. You can watch us record live and interact in our chat. So Lewis, Sarah's husband, says we can't do roasting sessions at home.
Oh my God. None of this is okay. Sarah, you need to get one of those water bottles and spray him like a damn cat.
We have one for the cat. I'll just turn it on him.
Yeah, man.
You need a bigger spray bottle.
All right, Mary, segment is all yours. Sorry.
Look, it's fine at this point. Speaking of cats, part of my story involves cats.
Oh.
Manscaped. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect. Why'd you stop? Continue.
Speaking of cats, if you want the perfect gift for any ladies in your life, try Manscaped. I can tell you firsthand how smooth the results are, if you know what I mean. Anyways, okay, so listen.
Just check out manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off.
Yes, what he said. Okay, so there really are cats in this story, guys. My wedding festivities started on Friday. Keep in mind my birthday was Thursday. I was mildly hungover. By mildly, I mean very hungover.
I thought you couldn't drink alcohol.
The video I sent you guys, I'm not supposed to. The video I sent you guys,
I'm glad you're taking care of your health.
It. I'm doing my very best. Thank you for recognizing that. Listen, I didn't remember sending you guys that video.
Which video?
The one where Mike Reedy's like photobombing with the gang signs that Chris oh my God,
tater tots
screenshotted it. Yeah, tater tots. I forgot about that.
I want to put that screenshot of Mike Reedy with the rock on sign on his t-shirt. And if you don't know what we're talking about, join our Patreon, become a host on the No New Friends podcast, and then join our No New Friends podcast group chat.
No, I'll put that video on Patreon at some point.
Oh God, no need. Please don't.
It'll go under Sarah's secret stash.
Please don't. So I had to go to a psychiatrist appointment Friday morning.
Very relatable.
So I tuck and rolled from that over to meet my mom and my sister to go get our nails done, which was fine. There were so many people with us though for this little nail outing that I'm too much of a people pleaser. Like the guy has me go sit down. I get in, and Sarah, you've had a pedicure, right? You know,
I have.
You know this experience. You know when you put your feet in and you're like, I think my flesh might melt off.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
They're like, how's the water temperature? And I didn't want to hurt his feelings, so I
did that last time.
Fine, and I just silently died. And then he turns on the back massager. It hurt so bad. My spine was bruised, you guys. It really was. And I didn't want to tell him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
That was absolutely me last time I went to get a pedicure.
So
same exact experience.
I can't be the only one. There were so many of us, though. They didn't have enough people. And I didn't realize it because I was trying to talk and be, trying to help host and stuff. And I realized everyone was done with their pedicure already, and I was still just sitting there with my feet in water. Nothing had happened. They're all done already. And I was like, well, I guess I'll see you guys later. So we do the rehearsal stuff and all of that. So then we go to my girlfriend Tara's house. My friends Paul and Tim came down. They live in Winter Park, so they're kind of in the Orlando area. We all get there. Paul and Tim are known for throwing lovely dinner parties, and they're just a great time. Tim makes wonderful food. We're there for probably 2 hours, laughing, having drinks and snacks, and having a good time. My friend Tara has 3 cats. This is going to be important.
Sorry to hear that.
She's introducing me. No, you're not going to be sorry when you hear the rest of this. This bitch's cats are trick cats, you guys. They're trick cats. And she's been holding out on us. These cats used to work at Busch Gardens in the Pets Ahoy show.
No. They split in two? They split in two and stuff?
They do all kinds of crazy stuff. They walk on tight ropes. They do stuff. And so we're trying to get them to walk on
every
tight
cat
ropes.
walks on tight ropes.
No, they don't, because we couldn't get them to reenact it. But we tried. We were all drunkenly trying to get these cats to do stuff.
Do you think she just told you that?
Yeah, she drunkenly told you that it's a performance cat.
This is definitely the cats in Busch Gardens.
No, listen, she went to go adopt them, and there was a donkey there. There was all kinds of trick animals. She's got trick cats.
That's where Rachel found Scott, actually, at the same place.
The Pets Ahoy show.
No, she found me at the Shamu show.
Oh, Shamu. I know the little.
He grew out of his tank, so they had to put him up for adoption.
They had to move him off to a huge house in Winter Garden.
Okay, easy there, Chris Farley. Okay, calm down.
Hey, is that why the kids in the neighborhood love you so much?
Listen, John Candy, before I outsource my next heart attack to you. Jesus.
Wow.
I'm half your age, man. I can't even get them yet.
Mary's half my age. No pride. She said, hold my beer.
It's true. Heart disease
hold-
knows no number.
She said, hold my White Claw.
Oh my! Hey, look, claw in order, man. So this brings me to my next point. So we had a wonderful time, but we did have a couple of cocktails. It was fine. Get up, have some mimosas, naturally, and then go to the.
So proud of you.
Brilliant. Thank you. We go to the hair salon for my sister to get her hair done.
Jesus, how many salons did you go to?
So many, too many,
Oh
too
my
many.
God.
So then we get to the venue of the wedding, which is also my peepaw's house.
Who?
Family members.
But
my
what?
peepaw.
Was this in?
You know, like a grandfather.
This was
that.
in-
I don't
this
think, I think
was
it's
def-
I don't- that's probably.
Yeah,
I think it's a
you can't
derogatory
say that.
term. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. This is 2023, Mary.
Peepaw.
Oh, no, stop.
He's my peepaw.
Oh, no.
Stop. We're gonna get canceled.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you my peepaw.
Yeah.
Listen.
Speaking of Peepaw, if you want to save 20% off on your next Manscaped purchase, just visit their website, manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF.
If you want your peepaw to look like the top of Scott's head, visit manscaped.com.
Oh.
I love
Hold on.
peepholes.
Let's.
So does Scott, the back room at Blockbuster.
We need to add some. We need to add some context real quick. This was in Polk County, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Peepaw's a grandfather. Okay,
They're still
now
70 years
Yes.
behind. So
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You're
Yes.
you're still allowed to say colored people in Polk County.
they still have segregation
Oh my
there,
gosh.
right?
Right. They've got separate water fountains in Polk County.
They didn't get
We
the
don't
news.
see color.
Literally, you
That's
choose
always
not
the go-to
to.
phrase.
They
Yeah, we
no.
just- we don't
The
see
only
it.
news they get is Fox News.
Anyways, we arrived to the venue.
Anyway, let's get back on your
Um,
Peepaw.
Let's get back on my peepaw. That doesn't sound okay to me. I don't like it. Peepaw is a lovely, lovely man, okay? So we get to the venue. The makeup artist is about to get there to like do our makeup. You guys, when I tell you I am a girl dragon, I am a girl dragon. Like from Shrek when Donkey notices that the dragon's a girl dragon. That I did not know that I had it in me. I look fly
What,
as
your
hell.
Peepaw?
Oh my God, I hate you so much. I had eyelashes. It was the craziest thing. I like low-key was just like staring at myself the whole time and I was just like blinking. I made a big mistake. I started drinking probably a little too early and I forgot that I had a speech to make.
Like never
Oh.
happened to you before, huh? That's like very not
Yeah.
common.
very rare.
I know,
Yeah.
very rare. And I forgot that I forgot I had ADHD for a minute. So in my mind, I was like, Mary, while Autumn is getting her makeup done, write your speech. And I even brought note cards so I could write it. Nope.
Wait, you hadn't
got
written your
distracted.
speech yet.
No, I thought about it a little.
Mm.
I thought you guys were banding together to write it
Yeah,
for her.
because you guys let
Oh
me
my
down
gosh.
is what happened. You dropped the ball.
I never called Dory. I couldn't do my cliff notes. I can't do them before. It's illegal. Scott doesn't let me do that.
Correct.
Well, it's fine because I like to think it went okay. Here's where I really went wrong. I decided it was a good idea to shotgun a Truly with the photographer right beforehand.
That's a
Why?
really
I have no
random
idea.
person to do a shotgun a truly with.
You know,
Sounds
it's
painful
just
too. That's very carbonated.
It was awful. I was in so much pain and I had to burp so bad the entire time. It was terrible.
That was it painful because of the
worst
carbonation or
idea.
because you're not supposed to be drinking?
Both. Both. Yes, the answer is just yes to that.
Yes.
Awful. Terrible. And I like forgot that I was a decent adult with children and stuff because I know that's probably a stretch, but I do have children.
Yes.
And they were all there. They weren't with me when I shotgunned the Truly. I was in like the bridal suite.
Jesus,
But
I could see
I, like-
Mary. I
okay.
could see Mary at like a field trip doing keg stands at the bar, forgetting. Oh yeah, I'm at a field trip. I'm supposed to be responsible for human
Wasn't
life.
that your dad? Your dad did that.
My dad
actually.
did do that. My dad.
Your dad did get tanked on a field trip.
That's
okay,
right.
but listen, I was a victim of circumstance.
Oh, here we go. Mark that off on your bingo card.
Listen, so the photographer made a giant hole in his can. Mine was not very big and it sprayed everywhere. I was covered with Truly, and I got it on my mom. And then literally 3 seconds later, my kids walk in and I'm like, there's Truly on the ground.
Truly.
It was
Gosh,
awful.
I zoned out for a second. I thought you were talking about peepal again.
Oh my God.
Mary, is
Stop
that-
with the people?
Is that why you jumped in the pool? to make it look
I
like
didn't jump in the pool. I did not jump in the pool.
There was definitely a picture that I saw on Facebook where it looked like half of your dress was wet.
Oh, yeah. It's because I was playing with my kids after they jumped in the pool.
Right. Okay.
We were dancing. We were tearing up the dance floor. So I walked my little nephew, Jameson, down the aisle. And my sister wanted him to wear this really cute little sign. And it was really adorable. The challenge is, and if you don't remember, I was worried I was going to fall.
Oh, please
and that
tell
I was
me.
going to
Please
bring
tell
the.
me you fall.
I fall.
I
Please
know
tell
what?
me you fall.
Please tell me you fell.
Please tell me you
Alex,
fall.
cut that out.
Oh, so I was walking down and I thought the dress fit perfectly, but I didn't account for having to be like hunched over, holding a 1.5-year-old's hand, walking. He stepped on my dress. It wasn't even me. And there's a really cute picture where it looks like we're both really happy, but we're both like knowing that we're on the verge of just eating it hard. He stepped on my dress and then I started to tumble over. So I pulled on him, but I pulled on the sign. So the picture's me yanking on the kid's neck and sign and him on my dress. And it was a disaster. It was fine. We made it. So then we get to, the front. My sister looks gorgeous, walks down the aisle, and the officiant is a personal friend, and she was like so caught up and worked up, she forgot to have everybody sit down.
Oh, and
so she just rolls into Val's.
This is what I'd like to picture: is Mary, who was, remember, jealous that she wasn't the Reverend Mary Reedy officiating this wedding. So she's like, "Excuse me, you're supposed to ask them to sit down."
That's exactly what happened. I was like, "Can they sit down?" And she goes, "I know. I don't know what to do though." And I was like, "You can all be seated now."
she's like, "I'll take it from here."
My time to shine.
Dearly
My time
beloved.
to shine. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here.
I can see Mary just pushing Autumn out of the way. This is my day, goddammit.
It was a beautiful ceremony. Everybody, walks back down. I walk with her son Damien the other way because the baby ran away. I guess I scared him off. I don't know. We take some pictures. Everything's great. I forgot again that I had to make a speech. So I continue to have cocktails. And then
did you skip?
I realized.
Did you skip that pill in your pill sorter that day?
I can't take ADHD medication anymore because my heart and all of that. So I'm not allowed to.
So wait, so you cut the medicine out, but you
continue the alcohol.
No, okay. Well, I can buy alcohol. I can't prescribe myself Adderall. That's
why you're
substance.
in nursing school.
How'd you know? Okay, listen. So I notice that they're all like starting to talk, and the groom says something, my sister says something, and then their best friend comes up, or Dave's best friend, who's the groom, comes up and starts talking. And I was like, "Oh, this is lovely." And then I was like, you could just see me thinking, "Oh God, I'm next." I have to do a speech. I forgot again. And so they call me up. And the first thing out of my mouth was, "I don't usually do events this small." I don't know why that was.
That's fantastic.
The crowd loved it. And I need to send you guys a picture. I had my arm on the mic stand like I was a comedian. Like, I don't know what.
She's got her bottle of water and her stool.
I did. I had somebody bring a stool over, and I'm just like leaned on this microphone.
Don't forget to
stand,
tip your
and I'm
bartenders
like,
and servers.
I wish that was a joke.
No.
I go in and I start like talking about my sister and, how it's magical to see your best friend, meet the love of their life, even though my sister met the love of her life 35 years ago when I was born. It just, things went sideways real fast. I think I recovered it. But at the end, I was like, "Don't forget to check out the No New Friends podcast."
Yes.
And I literally did a mic drop. It was awful. It was awful. And then they were all, like laughing and whatever. And I was like, "Knock, knock." Just kept going. It was terrible. And then Dexter said a knock knock joke, and I ended the night. They basically did, but we did get a couple of new downloads and subscribers.
Oh, good.
Welcome, guys. Good. We did, yeah. So
this wedding speech is brought to you by Manscaped.
I wish that was a joke also.
if you want a cleanly shaven peepaw, just visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So then I had another cocktail and I'm just tearing up the dance floor. Or at least in my mind, I was. Who knows? And so the kids.
It looked like
come
she was
up to
having a
me.
seizure. I saw the videos.
I may have been. I don't know. So the kids come up to me and they know which parent to like zone in on, depending on like they just know. And they knew I was in a great mood. So they're like, Mom, can we get in the pool? Peepaw already said it was okay. And I was like, I like how you laid the groundwork here. And so I'm like, well, yeah, we have changes of clothes. Why not? And then Mike Reedy is like, voice of reason. He's like, no, this is a terrible idea. We're driving home all the way to Lake Mary. Like, why they're all going to be wet. Like, I don't know. And I was like, they have a change of clothes. And I looked at him and I was like, why say no when you can say yes? Kids get in the pool. Like, I just and so they all just take off and all of them jump in. All of them.
The funny thing is, Mike Reedy tried to make a move later that night, and she said no. And he goes, "Why say no when you can just say no
when
yes?"
you can say yes. This segment's brought to you by Manscaped. Yeah. So
You're going to say it was brought to you by Bill Cosby.
No, it's also that. Yeah, open bar.
By Puddin' Pops.
Was what this segment. Oh my god. My peepaw pops.
I love that. Actually, the name's growing me. I think that's going to be. I'm writing it down in my future child name book as Peepaw.
Keep putting on that weight, Chris. It's going to fit very nicely.
Nothing's going to fit nicely if he does. True. Okay, so to have Caleb drive me home.
Where was Mike Reedy?
We drove separately. I drove down Friday. He drove down for the ceremony Saturday. So
Awesome.
I was like, I've had quite a few cocktails. Caleb, you're 16. Will you drive me home? It's the perks of having that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And at some point,
drive safe.
I'll tell my spring break story, bringing my girls to the Disney parks. You guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Yes.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us two news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to figure out which one's which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, I'm not here on vacation this week, as Disney called me and told me Scott is offending people in the park again. This time it's not the guest, it's the employees themselves. More specifically, the characters. I told Disney just to keep him away from Pluto and they should be fine. Apparently the problem is much more than that. Disney had heard about me working with Scott with his interactions on the monorail, so he asked me to follow him around for the day and take notes on his interactions with the characters in the park, specifically the princesses. So let's start off with Cinderella. First thing you did when you walked up to her is ask her, do you want to see if it fits? Without clarification on what it actually is, that can be found to be pretty offensive. Moving on to Merida. You asked Merida if the carpet matches the drapes. I don't know anybody that wouldn't be offended by getting asked that. And then you talked to Sleeping Beauty, and what you said to her was, so I could have done anything to you and it wouldn't woke you up? That was just creepy. So moving on to Ariel, what you said to offend her was, I hear you're 16 now, and that's the age of consent here in Florida. Why you know that's the age of consent here in Florida, I don't really want to know. When you were talking to Milan, you asked her a math question. For one, she's Chinese, not Japanese, Scott. It's not the same thing. And we've already talked about this. You can't ask Asian people math questions. See, Scott, these are the reasons why security had been following you around all day. And finally, we had the worst of them all, was Moana. I don't know if you meant to be offensive to Moana, but you were talking to her about how much you love Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A. You said you loved it so much that you would literally lick the container clean. But you phrased it as tonguing a Polynesian. I hope you hearing that now that you're sobered up a little bit, you can understand how that would be taken as offensive. I think the only princess that you didn't offend was Tiana, who you skipped completely. What's wrong with Tiana, Scott? She's a cook. I figured you'd like her. While I relay all this information to Josh tomorrow and try to help you keep your season pass, let's get into this week's Jersey Man or Florida Man. And in our first story, a woman asked the city board to create a Sugar Daddy and Sugar Mommy Appreciation Day. And in our second story, a 61-year-old man is shot in front of a Costco.
All right, so I have to explain something real quick. So there was a joke made in our Discord, and it was our public Discord, not our members only Discord. About
Which anyone can join.
Anyone can join that. Yep. The link is on our website. And it was something about age of consent. And I said, well, the age of consent in the state of Florida is 16. Don't ask me why I know that. Completely setting myself up, which I said, this is going to have to be a topic for another day, because at one point when I was 18 years old, I dated a 16-year-old.
All right, cut that.
She swore she was 18.
No, she said she was 16. It was fine. I did a lot of research. I did my own research.
Oh my God.
So anyway, Chris, which one's which?
I was going to be like, Sarah, you've got kids.
I'll tell you what, the violence, I want to go with New Jersey, but I want to go sugar daddy New Jersey, because I feel like that's something like in North Jersey they're trying to pass, like a sugar daddy law, a sugar mommy law.
Okay.
So New Jersey sugar mommy shot dead, which I guess Second Amendment, probably just standing their ground in Florida. Costco.
Mary, what do you think?
I agree with Chris this time. I think that there are a lot of entrepreneurs in New Jersey, like Chris himself. Okay. And there's a lot of old people, Scott, in Florida. So there we go.
All right, Sarah.
I think I have to agree with them, actually. I do. Because I agree. I think violence is Florida. It usually is. And I don't think anybody in Florida has enough money to splurge in the sugar daddy industry.
See, when violence happens in New Jersey, it doesn't make the national news because it's just common. Like, it's just another day, another murder. Scott, are you going to be the outlier here?
I was going to agree with all of you, because I think that you're right. I think the Costco is Florida.
Well, do you know? Wait. Let's have our first ever foursome.
All right. Why not? Why not? I was going to go against the grain here, but I'm going to go with them. Let's have a foursome.
Speaking of going against the grain, Manscaped. Use code No New Friends and have 20% off. Take it away, Scott.
All right, Ryan. Let's find out the answers.
So our first story was from Florida, where a woman who identifies herself as Ashley Cream, went before the Boca Raton City Board and asked for March 10th to be designated as Sugar Daddy and Mommy Appreciation Day. Now, if this passes, it'll be nice because Scott's wife will have an extra day off every year. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a 61-year-old man was shot in the leg while entering a Costco. See, now Scott's not the only one that's had a weapon pulled on him while he's trying to go to Costco. This guy should have went to BJ's. Worst you ever get there are teeth marks. And in other news, Gwyneth Paltrow is in court. She's being sued after hitting a 71-year-old man on a ski slope back in 2016. They should charge her with assault after she's assaulted our noses with the scents of her candle since 2008. Anyways, that's it from me, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan. That was amazing. Yeah, I proposed to Rachel on March 10th. So that fits.
Wonderful.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
What's going on, nerds? This is Lewis from the Nerd Archive podcast. Alongside my co-host Yadi, Lola, and Justin, we bring you everything about Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, DC Comics, and video games, and more. New episodes every Friday at 8 a.m. on all podcast platforms. See you then, nerds. Now back to the program.
Hi, this is Bruce Valanche, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Unless they look like Matt LeBlanc in the early days, he could be my friend.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Don't forget, check us out after dark every single Wednesday night. You can watch that thing live every Wednesday night at about 9:30 on Twitch when we do it live, and then you can hear it the next week at 9 o'clock when it posts. Anyway, but you don't have to be a Patreon member to watch that one. But we encourage you to be a Patreon member because, one, that really helps us out, and we can put out more content, have better quality stuff, and then you get to buy some friends, some really cool friends like the Ryans and the other Ryan and Dane and Lewis and all the other Patreon, Jared, I can't forget Jared. And anyway, Sarah, do you have any restaurant reviews for us today?
So actually, I'm pretty sure that this was written about the food truck that I visited.
Oh, good.
I kid you not. It was perfect. It says, I'm confident the food here poisoned me. It's the only food I ate in the last 24 hours that I did not eat in the preceding days. There was also a good amount of pork. It was also half of what came up.
Oh, what do you do? Wait, is that the whole?
That's it. That's all of it. And I just felt really triggered.
And what? Wait, what do you do if you're a restaurant and you get a review like that? You got to close, right? Like that's it. Like I'm done.
No, we usually say it's a bitter ex-employed. We ignore it.
Well, or it depends on who's managing the social media. Like usually there's like a very blanket response, which is like, please contact this. And then we just don't answer that. We tell them to reach out to somebody. Send us your contact information. And then we're like, avoid.
Thanks for the truth, because that made for very funny responses, guys. That made for very funny responses. Yeah, so if you guys want to learn more about the hospitality industry, email us at nonewfriendspodcast.com and Scott will give you a seminar on...
Here's the thing, Chris. Most of the time, I don't see reviews about they got sick. Most of the time. A lot of times they'll call a restaurant and say, hey, just let you know, got sick. And then we have to ask a bunch of questions, because if only one person got sick, it's not a foodborne illness. That's on you. You probably ate something somewhere else.
Right.
But if it's like more than two people for different parties get sick, then it's a foodborne illness that we need to, really look into.
I've never actually experienced like a foodborne illness.
No, neither
situation.
have I.
I've had people be like, "Oh, I just threw up because of your food," and I'm like, I don't think that was our.
It's like 15 minutes after they ate the food.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't set in that quickly.
Yeah. And the thing is, Chris, here's the thing that a lot of people don't know about foodborne illnesses. Some of them have a gestation period of like 30 days. So you may eat something 30 days ago and then get sick today, and it's what you ate 30 days ago, not what you just ate.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. It sounds like a liberal hoax to me.
It probably is. You're probably right.
Well, if we don't test for it, we wouldn't know.
Chris, you should probably start eating at some of these food trucks. I'm
thinking it would be beneficial to my weight loss journey, Scott. You know what?
Yeah.
This is today is March 22nd. We're recording. It is 9:20 p.m. in the evening. This is when my weight loss journey starts. Actually, we'll start tomorrow. I'm half a glass of wine in, and I
That's a
can't
good
just
idea.
throw this away. It was expensive. I can't just throw that away.
Is it red or white?
It's red, so it's good for your heart.
It's good for
It's
your
good
heart.
for your
then.
heart.
Ooh.
You could spill
It's
it
good
on
for
a
your
Pokemon
heart, not
card.
mine.
Sit.
Oh, send it this way. Send it to my child, please.
All right, Chris, let's start this weight loss journey together.
Sounds good. Oh, wow. We're going to have to
Yeah.
go based off of percentages because I'm like 1/3 the weight of you. So we'll have to go based off percentages for like the biggest loser type thing.
Okay. We'll
I can already tell you who it is.
we can be accountability partners.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm not going to exercise.
No, neither am I. Are you serious? Neither am I. But I will
I'm
cut
not
out
gonna-
like maybe we'll get a sugar-free coffee instead of a regular coffee, you know?
Sarah, do you want to go eat whatever we want since we're skinny?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I used to be like that, and then
Or Chris, we
don't know.
could just get whatever Mary got, throw up a lot, and then we'll be good. That's all we need to
True.
do.
It's true.
So I was joking about the whole
True.
blood oath thing earlier, but maybe Mary, if it's a blood thing, if it's genetic, maybe we can inherit your genes by doing.
So we're
blood
getting
oath.
serious about this foursome now.
Well, after we're done recording, we're gonna have a conversation, the three of us. Sarah, listen. Sarah, you're doing fine. If I need the number for the food truck, I'll let you know. But that's really
Oh, perfect.
Or for a stuffed raptor.
unless your metabolism is in your blood, then maybe we need your blood as well. I don't know. We'll talk after. Mary,
I'm sure
whatever
there's
you
a stem
yeah,
cell. of
Yeah, listen. Whatever you
sorts.
learn in nursing school, Mary, I don't want to know it. I just kind of want to make this up as I go.
Okay, I like it. Fast and loose.
All right, we got another phone call. If you want to give us a call and leave us a voice message, it's 407-906-0543. If we like it, we'll play it on air. We're just going to call this Ponders from our mystery caller. And here we go. Take it away, mystery caller.
Hey there, NNF squad. Last week you were talking about Pound Town. Let's break that down here. Pound. Town. Pound. Town. The word pound, a lot of different definitions for it. For example, 1 pound is roughly 0.45 kilograms, which makes for a pretty light town. Pound is also a place where our homeless dogs are taken to. Reminds me of another classic film from the early 2000s, The Karate Dog. Not just Karate Dog, The Karate Dog. So you can experience it in its full glory. Here is its full summary from Wikipedia. A talking dog named Cho Cho teams up with a police detective named Peter Fowler to solve the murder of his owner, Chin Lee. That's all they've got there, but that's enough for us to tell that it's some pretty dang good stuff that they've got. Now, it's also worth noting that with Chevy Chase voicing the main dog on there, this film is probably more whitewashed than Tom Sawyer's Fence, but still less so than Scott's Neighborhood. In case you're curious, here's an actual clip taken from the movie.
Hey guys, I got a big old winner just looking at it.
Oh, sorry, actually, that was a clip of Scott watching the movie. But he took the pound turn in 2 different ways. Anyways, that brings me to the question that I have for you guys. Why are Barack Obama and Osama bin Laden the same person?
I figured you guys would like that.
This needs to be a reoccurring thing where whoever this caller is talks about whatever they're talking about and just asks the most random question.
I may or may not have already reached out to random said mystery caller and said, please keep doing this exactly how you're doing it. I want a bad movie review. Now I'm finally getting my bad movie reviews. I want a bad movie and I want a random thought at the end. Brilliant.
Scott, you're so good at outsourcing
I am.
everything.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh my god.
Chris, you got any cliff notes for us?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
We may have to have them change that to this little big boy.
I do have to warn you guys. I have been drinking quite a lot during this episode, and I started reading this first cliff note, and it feels like I'm reading it for the first time. So I'm actually hearing this.
He's cracking himself up.
This was a long time ago. Yeah, I might laugh during these too. All right. So anyway, we started off the episode talking about how I gained a lot of weight in the last year. Mary talked about how in Asian countries, they're now calling their plus sizes things like cow and pig. And embarrassingly enough, I just had to order one of these. I actually just had to order my pants in a Scott. That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
I like that one. I just read that for the first time. All right, so then we talked about south of the border. And you guys don't know this, but maybe it's breaking news to you. Unfortunately, it was a victim of COVID and is no longer with us. That's right. It closed during the pandemic. This was actually one of the only COVID deaths reported in the South. Scott talked a little bit about Blockbuster and how they were super active in the 90s, then went dormant and eventually died for no one to ever use again. Now, I would do the obligatory comparison to Scott's penis, but that would be more like Hollywood Video.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I was
Blockbuster's a has-been. Hollywood Video is like it never was.
When I read that, when I wrote that, I'm thinking, I hope Hollywood Video is a nationwide thing and not just something in Jersey.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those mom and pops that they bought out.
Scott criticizes Mary for when she drinks alcohol. You know, Mary used to do the same thing to Scott by texting him when he ate too much. She somehow reached the capacity on her unlimited texting plan and had to stop. So when Mary went to the nail salon, she didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So when the temperature of the water for her pedicure was scalding hot, the guy asked her, "Does this feel okay?" She said, "Yes." And Mary, I can relate to you. I'm the same exact way. I could never say no. The guys in jail would love me.
And they will.
At a wedding this weekend, Mary actually had to give a speech, which even I remembered she had to give, but she didn't. She started her speech by saying, quote, "I don't usually do events this small." That's something a woman has never said before sex with Scott. Not because, listen, before you laugh, not because he's fat, it's just he's never really had sex. Mary talked about her peepaw. And I was very fascinated by this word. I Googled the word peepaw to see the origin. And I saw, you know how Google shows you the recommended searches. So I saw a recommended search was bear's peepaw, right? And I found out today that a peepaw is very different in the LGBTQ community. And lastly, Barry was around cats that were trained to do tricks. Scott's been trying to get a pussy to do anything for years.
You gotta go to the Pets Ahoy show, Scott.
And those are my cliff notes.
Wonderful.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Thank you, Chris. That was great as usual. I love them. Just wait, because we do After Dark and we may have Scott summaries, so I get to go last.
Actually, what Scott said just right now, I'm sorry, I did just touch on this real quick. That's the only time Scott ever finishes last is during After Dark.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark.
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz His?
This week on Diz His, before I get into Diz His, I want to talk a little bit about Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. The last couple weeks, I talked about stuff that he sent me from overseas, and this one, the gifts continue this week. This is a little spoiler. The gifts did continue this week, but he was a little bit closer to home this time, so to speak. This one was, I don't know, I just felt this one a little bit more. This one tasted a little better than the others that he sent. He sent me cream nut.
Oh, cream nut.
He sent me, and it wasn't, listen, this was his own cream nut that he sent me. A lot of people will just tell you where to get it, where you can find it. But Nick was kind enough to. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional about this because this is just something that doesn't really happen between two grown men. He sent me his own cream nut, Scott.
Okay.
Wow.
And he knows how much I love this. We've had long conversations about our favorite things, and cream nut is one of my favorite things to finish off a night with. And I think we all just love a good cream nut at the end of the night, Scott. And that's probably why I gained all this weight. He was up in Michigan, and he sent me a 17-ounce jar of cream nut natural smooth peanut butter from Michigan, Scott. It's a native peanut butter they have up there. And I liked his cream nut so much that I actually reached out to sandpipervacations.com, got a free quote to see where I could stay in Michigan. And I am now going to Michigan thanks to sandpipervacations.com on a vacation. And listen, writing off it is an expense, Scott, because I'm going there just to get cream nut. And Nick from Sandpiper Vacations just opened my eyes to how good. Listen, I will never end my night without a cream nut ever again from Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, Scott. I just every time I cream nut, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Every time I take a taste of cream nut, I'm gonna just think of Nick from Sandpiper because of his generous gift. Listen, when the package came from Nick and it was cream nut, couldn't believe it.
There's nothing else. You just have to go get the cream straight from the nut now.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing until Nick opened my eyes to it. Let Nick open your eyes to the glorious vacations you could be taking. Sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that our New Friends podcast sent you. It's free. Come on. Listen, Nick gave me this cream nut for free. He's not going to give everyone that for free. It's only special friends that he's going to send these things in his. This was a moderately sized package that I got in the mail. It was moderately sized. Can't guarantee that you will get a cream nut from Nick, but you will get the cheapest vacation you ever took. Because if you try to plan it yourself, guess what? Not going to be as cheap as if Nick planned it. But I tried. Trust me, I tried. Like, this guy cannot possibly plan a cheaper vacation than me. Actually, I lied. I asked Sarah to plan the vacation for me. I said, this guy definitely can't plan a cheaper vacation than Sarah. And damn it, he did.
Wow.
That's impressive.
If you at home want to not book a vacation, reach out to Nick. Just tell him where the hell you want to go, and he will make sure you get there. He will make sure you have a great vacation for the cheapest price possible. Sandpipervacations.com. Fill out a free quote. Tell him that a New Friends podcast sent you. Man, I love Nick. Nick, you are such a good sport. Anyway, it's his. What the segment's all about. So on the Diz His podcast this week, we talk about a video game that I grew up with. It was the Aladdin and the Lion King video game on Sega Genesis. And Sarah's nodding her head, and Mary's got a surprised look. Scott has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, you're going to want to tune into this episode. Alex finds a lot of history on this topic, and it was really fascinating. We had a lot of cool conversations, and we have the Podfather himself on the episode, Remy from Remy's Roundtable. You are not going to want to miss that episode. So again, Aladdin, Lion King, Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. That's all I got to say, Scott.
Cool. Check out Diz His. They post their episodes every Tuesday morning. Diz His 65 on all social media. DizHis.com. There's some other great podcasts that we always want to tell you about. We've got the Black Lincoln Collective podcast where they talk about random things just like us. It's really funny. Check that out. Black Lincoln Collective podcast. We've got Don't Wreck Yourself from Ryan, who is deep diving into the things that are wrecking the internet and pulling apart all that BS. We've got Chuck LaFlange from Ashes to Awesome podcast take you through the Recovering from Addiction podcast, and I'm actually on one of his episodes this week, which makes no sense to me why I've been on twice. It makes no sense. I'm no expert on drugs or recovering, but it's a lot of fun. He does this really fun segment. It'll make sense when you hear me. A lot of fun to be on that, so check that out. Mary, what you got?
A mental health moment with Dr. Edward Samaro. You can find that on Spotify and, well, probably everywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Chris, what about you?
So first of all, we got Big Beautiful Diz, who actually just did a video on the Aladdin video game that we just talked about. We're doing on Diz His. So definitely watch his video on YouTube, which is where you can find in Big Beautiful Diz to see that and much, much more. We have Studio 21, who I assume will be talking about the World Baseball Classic, which just finished up last night. So check them out, Studio 21 Baseball Podcast. And lastly, we have the Podfather himself, Remy's Roundtable. That's Remy. Remy's going to do a deep dive into the theme parks of and what's happened in the state of Florida. If you're interested in all that stuff and Remy, who you should be interested in, check him out at Remy's Roundtable, streaming everywhere.
Sarah, what you got?
The Nerd Archive podcast, hosted by my lovely husband, Lewis. They're talking about Shazam this week, a movie I actually stayed up for the entire thing. So that's an accomplishment in
Nicely
itself.
done. Yes.
Yeah,
wonderful.
absolutely. They're doing the review and breakdown, so that should be interesting.
Awesome. So check out all those great podcasts. We've got No New Friends After Dark, which comes out every Wednesday night, where we either deep dive into something that we didn't talk about. We've got celebrity interviews, all sorts of good stuff. So check that out, No New Friends After Dark. You can connect with us, all of our links, social media, merchandise. You can join our clubhouse. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. Join our clubhouse so you can watch these things as we record live. Give us a phone call, 407-906-0543, on behalf of Game Master Ryan, our mystery caller, our producer, Alex, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.